Beba wewitang indishinakas. Asubi kune saga igining indunjaba. Ginu indudem. Hello, my name is Wolves Howling All Around You, or Donald Chosa Jr. I'm from the Bois Forte, Net Lake Reservation in northern Minnesota. My clan is Golden Eagle. When I was a small child, my dad told me a story about my great-grandmother, who was kidnapped by Eshkamig, or those who eat raw meat. My great-grandmother was only 15, and it was at the time of tapping the maple trees. Her name was Walk Up the Hill, or Saagijiwe-Gaabowiik Aban. She was with her family near Basswood Lake. One morning, as she went to the lake for water, 6 men of short stature took her. They traveled further east and captured another young girl from the Net Lake village. The first night they camped, the girl from Net Lake broke a sapling, leaving a stump about as high as her chest. She tied her knife to it, then put her throat to the knife and let her body weight do the rest. Saagijiwe-Gaabowiik chose to live by doing what they wanted of her. She was brought far north to a great salt lake and was sold to an older man to be his wife. Saagijiwe-Gaabowiik had 2 children. When she was 18, a couple she befriended gave her a hide-covered boat as a gift. That spring, she took her 2 babies and escaped during the night. She paddled up a river away from the Great Salt Lake. She paddled all night and all the next day until dark. She broke the boat into pieces and hid it in the underbrush. She was lost and didn't know where she was. She made a temporary resting place and slept. While dreaming, the young couple who had given her the boat came to her with a message. They told her, "Travel in whatever direction you are facing when you first wake." She did this every morning. Saagijiwe-Gaabowiik traveled all spring, all through the summer, and until late in the fall. She hid from anyone she saw, afraid to be returned, or worse. As she traveled, she and her babies became sick from starvation. In the fall, she came to a rise looking down onto a river and collapsed. She could no longer walk. A canoe came around a bend in the river, and she called out to the man who was paddling. It was her relative. She had been found. Within a month, both babies died, and she was bedridden for the winter. She married and had 3 daughters. One was my grandmother. It was said my great-grandmother was very grateful to be alive, and every morning and evening she would step out onto the porch of her cabin and smoke a sema in a pipe until she passed away. She was buried on the Vermilion sector of Bois Forte behind where her cabin once stood. In 1987, I was first introduced to my wife's grandmother, Jessie Drift, who wanted someone to write down the legends about Net Lake. Surprisingly, she shared the same story my father told me and added that after my grandmother's death, the village made a drum in her honor and gave the drum a warrior's name, Saagijiwe-Gaabowiik. We need to remember our traditional stories and be grateful for the sacrifices our ancestors made for us to be here today.